Hello everybody, I am Famincho, and today we're going to be talking about Made in Abyss Season 2, Episode 9, The Return. So this episode was absolutely action-packed. There's a ton of stuff happening in this episode. There's some great Sakuga, some great moments with Reg. We get to see the incinerator again, which is really, really cool. But before that, I really want to talk about the interaction between Riko and Wazukyan. Now, I'll be honest, I was actually a little bit worried about Wazukyan and his sort of place in the presence. I love this character. I love the stuff that he was doing in the backstory. I love his motivation, his actions, and just sort of who he is. He's a bad dude, but he's all doing it for a cause. But now I think that cause is being somewhat manipulated in a way. I think that things have changed. The story is manipulating that cause. Like, I feel like he might not be this good guy, per se, because now we know that he is after the cradles of desire that Faputa has within her. So he is not working for Faputa. He's sort of a third party. We now have like 3 sort of parties here that are at play, maybe even 4 with Nanachi and, of course, Bailoff. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but I do believe that Wazukyan is the main villain of the series. Or of this season, I should say, at least. I really, really love the role he plays in this episode. I love how you just quickly realize when the ground starts rumbling, like, oh shit, Wazu's bad. And he takes Waco, and it was such a great moment. It was something that I kind of expected. It was something that I was kind of hoping for, and yeah, it happened, and it was very impactful. Now, Wazu wants to leave the village. I'm guessing Riko mentions that where they actually are is the entrance into the Golden City, that the Golden City might even be a layer below, which I find really interesting. Like, they're not even at the Golden City, technically. I don't, maybe I'm not reading between the lines enough, maybe I didn't quite understand that, but the way she made it sound was that they're not in the Golden City. I always assumed that, like, oh, the village is the Golden City, but there was nothing in the series that ever stated that. They didn't arrive and be like, oh, this is the Golden City, guys. Like, I think it was never made apparent, I guess, and I could be wrong. Again, comment below, like, let me know if I'm 100% wrong there, but is the Golden City below them? Like, is there another layer that actually houses the Golden City, and is that truly what Wazu is after with these cradles? Is he going to wish to leave this village and to be able to travel, or maybe wish for a new body where he's able to maneuver throughout the abyss and travel even deeper? I'm really, really curious. I don't think that Wazu is making it out of this arc alive, to be totally honest. I think something is going to happen. I think he's going to I think his wish is going to become manipulated, and I think his greed is going to sort of warp his mind and sort of break him. That's sort of my theory there, but I don't know. Again, I still really, really like this character, and I think that his intentions since the very beginning have been whatever is happening right now. I think that this has always sort of been his goal. I think his ambition is just too big for the rest of the characters to bear in the flashback stuff. So really, really curious what's going on through Wazu's head, and how are the other characters going to react and interact with his ambitions and with his goals, and what exactly form does that take as well? Like, what is he going to stop Faputa somehow? I have to believe that he has some sort of plan in order to exact this. Maybe he's with Bailoff. Maybe Bailoff's like, hey, we agreed to do this thing, and now we're gonna do it. We are no longer in a dream. This is reality now, which I really, really love that line of dialogue that Bailoff mutters to Nanachi. Such a great moment, again, with the music swelling, and just the after credits is, it's so glamorous, and just, again, such a beautiful moment. But now I'm starting to think that maybe Bailoff and Wazukyan have made some kind of pact, and because Bailoff is a big snake, dude. Like, surely he can, I don't know, do something. I think there's more flashback. Again, we have 3 more episodes. I do believe there to be more. There's pieces of this puzzle that have not been revealed yet. We haven't even begun to put things together because we don't even know all the pieces yet. And that's such a fun factor that the series has going for it right now, is I'm still a little bit confused. Something else that I'm a little bit confused on is actually Reg's backstory between him and Faputa. Now, we know of the promise. We know what was made there, but what exactly happened in that time, and how long ago was that? Again, Why does she know his name is Reg? Why is she calling him Reg when Rico's the one that named him Reg up in Orth? I'm still very, very curious on what that means, and I have just no idea there. Also, Wazukyan calls him the Prince, which I find really, really interesting. It's like all of these things were meant to happen, but again, where does Reg sort of fall into this? I really hope the next couple of episodes, I hope like next week's episode, Reg is now in a coma or whatever. I hope that he somehow remembers what's happening here and remembers exactly the promise that he made and in what context as well. I don't know. I'm still very confused, as I mentioned, but I'm enjoying this confusion. I'm enjoying all of these things being up in the air. Just so as long things are cleared up eventually. I think it's very easy to just propose all of these questions and mysteries and not exactly exact all of them. Not exactly have a finite end to it. Not that that is 100% necessary in storytelling and in these types of mystery-filled anime series, but I do think some kind of closure is needed, especially when things are continuously alluded to throughout the series. I really hope that we get those answers, or maybe those answers are further along. Maybe those answers are in season 3 or later in the manga. I have no idea, but I'm a little scared to find out. I feel like there's going to be some huge revealing backstory that basically shows Reg is not a nice dude or has done terrible things, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about just like, oh, that character that you loved? Well, here's this dirty shit that he did. Like, I don't typically like that with my characters in storytelling. I think it's kind of a cop-out way to sort of manipulate the audience, and I don't know, I hope it's not that case. Again, I'm still very confused, but I'm still very, very excited to find out. So the action in this episode, holy cow, the stuff that they were doing with Juroimo, I believe that's how you say it, and just how he morphs and he has the ooze, and oh my, there's this one shot where like the ooze is it's not even ooze, I don't even know what this stuff is, where it's like sweeping over Reg, and it's like a net basically, and Reg jumps. It's just the perspective of that shot was absolutely fantastic. I love how we see Reg hanging from multiple areas of this village. It was a fantastically directed sort of action sequence. Again, capturing scale is very, very difficult to do with 2D drawings, and I think that they did it successfully here. Joroimo was hand-drawn. He was not CG, which I found very interesting. We actually see Bailoff in sort of a hand-drawn form, I believe, at the end of this episode as well. We see, like, we see his face, like, oh, that is Bailoff. There we go. There's his face. Really, really love the action in this episode. Really, really love, of course, every single time the incinerator is used, it's just the coolest shit ever, man. I gotta be honest, it's one of the coolest things this series has going for it. It's one of the coolest things I've seen in anime in a while. It just looks awesome, man. It looks so cool. The sound design is excellent. I love how his palm, like, opens up. It's just, it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. So Regu sort of blows a hole in Joroimo, and as well as the wall that is keeping Faputa out. Faputa has entered the village, returned to the village, to her mother, and she gives this huge monologue, which is very powerful, great voice acting, scary. I'm scared of Faputa now. I really am. And then she just starts, I guess, killing people? I guess that's a thing. Like, I don't know where we go from here. Like, is she literally just gonna, like, is Wazu gonna be dead? Like, is she trying to kill Wazu? I have to imagine that she's, like, Wazu is the one that she wants to kill the most. I have to imagine that that is the thought process that she has. Or I don't even know if she knows who Wazu is, but she probably feels the burden of, like, sin on him or something. Yeah, I'm a little scared for our heroes. I'm worried right now. Now, I will be 100% honest. I kind of feel like things in this episode kind of escalated a little too quickly, in my opinion. I think the pacing here is just, again, a little bit wonky. I thought last week's episode felt a little bit wonky as well. I thought things kind of, the way it began and the way the episode ended just felt a little off, and definitely the ending of this episode is, significantly more impactful, and I'm ready for next week's episode. I feel excited about this series. I feel excited about what's going to happen next. However, I kind of wish we took our time just a little bit more. I kind of wish this series, like, honestly, I think this series needs to be like 13 or 14 episodes. It was just announced recently that the last episode will be an hour long, just like the first season, so maybe that's where we can take our time and slow things down. I'm not quite sure. Again, let me know in the comments below if you feel the same way. I just felt like things felt a little bit rushed. I felt like we were jumping to conclusions very quickly here. I thought that the episode flowed well. Again, very well directed action, very well scripted dialogue. Again, I love the interaction between Rico and Wazukyan. I love the final monologue by Faputa. I love the beginning dialogue as well, the pats and all that stuff. Felt really great. I don't know, I guess it's just jarring. It just feels jarring to me that, like, oh, whoa, the whole village is going to be destroyed now. We went from, you know, peaceful, eating weird food and having diarrhea to, like, oh, this is the end. This is it. She's exacting judgment day for this village. I don't know. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way. Again, comment below and give me your thoughts. Maybe just like half an episode longer of like sort of backstory and sort of build up into this moment. I don't think anything was taken away from this moment because, again, the whole season has been building up to it, but maybe I'm just being greedy and I just want more Made in Abyss. I think that's really it. So all in all, it was a really good episode filled with action. Again, great dialogue. Comment below, give me your thoughts on this week's episode of Made in Abyss. Do you feel like things are moving a little quickly? How do the manga sort of handle these things? Is this the natural progression of story beats, or do you feel like things are, again, a little bit rushed? Let me know in the comments below, and also just give me your general thoughts on the episode as well. I also really appreciate that. And also theories. Let's do theories, anime onlys. Let's do it. I love talking about that kind of stuff. So yeah, hit me up in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. I greatly appreciate it. Hit the like button if you feel so inclined. Check me out on Twitter, Twitch, and Discord down in the description below. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much for watching, as I said before. And until next time, party on.